Oh man, check it out guys. We got the Nightmare kit here by Foamdemic for the Worker Nightingale. Before we even start, make sure you guys get in on this giveaway right here. If you guys want to win yourself a Nightingale, it literally takes like 10 seconds, 12 seconds, something like that to get in it. So go ahead and check that out. Now we picked this up on Etsy roughly for about $45. So yeah, it is a little pricey, but hey, we've been seeing these kits pop up everywhere now for the Nightingale. We designed the kit here. If you guys want to check it out there. That is more like a dress-up kit because we see a lot of people have these since they're relatively cheap, but we just kind of wanted to just make it look a little different, right? Just look a little different, really not overhaul it like this. But I saw this, I was like, okay, let's try this. So we picked the yellow and the pink, which I thought was neat. Now the kit does not come with a front grip or a stock or a sight. This trigger guard here is our own trigger guard. Unfortunately, they forgot to send it when they sent us the kit, so I was just like, yeah, don't even, you know, at first I asked for it, then I was like, yeah, don't even send it, because unfortunately, guys, a spoiler alert, I'm not going to be using this on any of my Nightingales. But yeah, let's take a look at this thing in the hands. I mean, for the most part, I think it looks cool. It definitely turns this thing into a carbine slash SMG type. I mean, it definitely looks cool, for sure. I'll give you that. No complaints there. Now, as far as the installation, it is roughly going to take you probably like 20 to 25 minutes, 30 minutes, somewhere right in there. Some of these screws, they are the one type screws. On some of my rails, I don't know if it was supposed to be like this, but the hole was not all the way through. So when screwing this thing down through it, man, it took some elbow grease. And those screws are prominent to stripping. They're like the normal Nerf screws where I mean, gosh, I was scared I was going to strip a few. And you could see, I mean, I put some effort into it, and I was like, oh, I just couldn't get some of them almost all the way through. But one of the things with this too is there is a clear inner sleeve that goes inside of the normal barrel here. And when I was putting mine together, I was like, I can't seem to get that in and get this piece in. And they stated, or Foamdemic, when I messaged them, they stated that it was not needed. And I thought that was kind of weird because when you're shooting your Nightingale, you need something to correct the darts in some capacity, because darts are not flying straight every time you shoot it out of a flywheeler. If that was the case, then you would just not even have a front to this, right? So the barrel helps correct some of those darts that may be coming out like this or sideways to help it shoot somewhat straighter. I tried this without the inner sleeve and with the inner sleeve. Putting the inner sleeve and this on there, whew, took a little finesse. And I was like, ooh, without it, oh, that's going to cause some problems. Now, it might not have caused as much problems if you cut off the front, right? Because you can get that dart out and not have to like hit on any of this on the way out, especially if it's angled up. You'll see some darts tumble out or spin out. That's because they're coming out at an angle and hitting something in here and going out. And you guys know me, I use the Nightingale. I literally have 5 of these things. I use it all the time in my wars. And I'm not talking like 1 or 2 mags. I'm talking a lot of mags, a lot of running around, and a lot of using this. So I know what the performance of one of these should be like, especially stock with a high-powered one. But let's just get out and let's just go test this thing. So I'm going to put 5 mags through it for my test here, but I ended up putting roughly about 40 mags through this. My fingers hurt from loading so many of these. So you're going to see here that the performance definitely has an issue, just like I thought. Now, I have the inner sleeve barrel in. I do not have it out on this, because when it was out, you actually got worse performance. So when you shoot this, I was like, yeah, man, with the longer barrel like that, it's got to be rubbing and hitting, especially with all those holes and things like that on the side. And you're going to notice that the box is roughly about 25-ish feet away. The alien in the back is roughly like, I think that alien's like 40, 45, somewhere right in there. Could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more. Somewhere right in there. And you're going to notice some of these shots, when they come out, you can see them totally spinning, buckling end over end. And that is because they are hitting the inner bore of the barrel there. If the tube was to go all the way down, you would have way better performance. Or it was just a shorter muzzle, right? Somewhere right in there. But you can see here, you know, when it shoots good, just like the normal Nightingale. But when it doesn't, it doesn't. So, yeah, I mean, check it out. I mean, for the most part, ugh. And I felt like it was actually going slower in some capacity. I felt like it was coming out slower. Could be just a mind thing, but the accuracy, you can see, is definitely not there. Now, what I did also is I ended up taking just my regular old Nightingale with my dress-up kit on there and shooting, again, another 5 rounds through this to kind of show you, look, you're not going to see any wild ones. Wild ones do not come out of the normal Nightingale. Well, you might get 1 or 2, but out of the ones that I've shot, no. it shoots straight. You might have a few that go high or go low, but I believe those are the ones that are getting spun out of control in this particular kit. So for me, I would rather have a 90 to 100% fire rate, you know, downstream comparison to a 70 for sure, especially in a battle. But I shot 5 out of both just for the video here because I didn't want to bore you guys. But again, the performance was definitely affected on mine. Now, who knows? It might just be my, you know, it might just be my Nightingales. So again, go back and watch that if you guys want to watch it. But again, it might be my Nightingale. So that's why I flip-flop between my different Nightingales and my other ones down there thinking, okay, let's throw this kit on another one and let's just see. But as soon as I threw back the stock kit on here, the thing worked great, like normal, like what I would expect. One of the things too that I thought was kind of weird was the flex in the rear. I knew this was going to be a problem. I mean, you can kind of see this, like, I'm not even like pushing hard, but look at this. Like, you put this buttstock up, I mean, and I feel like, oh man, if I give this to kids, they're going to put too much pressure on there and it's going to break. Really, if you look, the sidearms here go down the side and there's a gap between the sides and the back. And this is because the Nightingale is kind of tapered, so in the back it's a little bit skinnier. Really what I think could have happened is on this side, they could have followed that contour and got another screw to give this side just another, you know, piece of rigidity, and it definitely would have helped the overall structure of this back piece 100%, is if they just followed that back piece and lined up the screw that's right here to go through to kind of give at least one side some type of extra rigidity so the whole thing doesn't, I mean, you guys can kind of see that. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's, again, I mean, I would not even run it with this back thing. I was running it with this, and in some cases, it didn't even, this didn't even want to, there we go. It didn't even want to click in and stay. But that is so much more lighter. I felt like it worked better than something that is a little bit heavier like this. But still, I mean, the kit looks cool. But again, look at that. I mean, look at the flex. But yeah, so you know, with this kit, what would I do differently? Is I would definitely cut off the front. I would cut off the front so it was smaller. I would somehow wrap this whole back or something to make it more rigid. And when I was looking on Etsy, when I got this kit, I noticed this kit here, and I think it was from, let me go see if I can get the name. It was from Werfer right here. So it was with the STLs, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'm gonna go ahead and print it. You do need a little bit of hardware with that, but that kit encompassed the whole back. So I'm gonna do another video on that probably in a day or two. But that encompassed the whole back, so that back piece is super, super rigid. It is not moving anywhere comparison to something like that. And they did like I thought. They cut off the front knowing that too long of a barrel is definitely going to hinder the performance of this, especially since you don't have a barrel going all the way down it. So that kit, yeah, well, you guys, I might do a comparison video between this and that, so I might keep it on here for a little bit longer so I can do a comparison video, but I will have that video up here soon. So I don't know, guys. I mean, overall, I like how the kit looks. I think it looks cool. I think kids probably will like it, but I feel like they will bust this if they put too much pressure on that, as it's really flexy. But I don't think I'm going to keep this on any of my blasters going forward until I do the compare video, probably, because I know a lot of people are going to want to see it. So I'll probably do the compare video, take it off, turn it back to stock, and just leave it as a stock blaster. But who knows? Again, maybe it's my, you know, maybe it's my kits, or you know, maybe it's something here. Who knows? You know, it's tough to say. But all I know is I had issues with mine, and like I said, I just sent them a message and said, yeah, you know what? Don't even send this piece. I'm just not gonna use it. It is what it is. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on this kit. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what other people say about this kit when they get it, or if they want to compare it to, again, the worst Werfer. I keep saying that wrong. Their kit, because that one definitely does some of the things that I think should have been done on this kit to kind of make it more rigid and just make it shoot a little bit better. But again, that is my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thanks again, Fox fans.